Welcome to Linear Light podcast section. Visit our website linearlight.com.
Light & Talk with Mariel Fuentes, Light for Restaurants, Harmony and Balance.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our podcast section. Our special guest today is Mariel Fuentes from El Diluz, Barcelona. Mariel, would you like to tell us something about yourself and your career?
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariel Fuentes. I am Chilean, although I have lived in Barcelona since 2004. I like to consider myself an architect by profession and a lighting designer by choice. I have 15 years of experience in lighting design, and for the last 4.5 years, I have been directing El Diluz Lighting Design Studio in Barcelona. I also dedicate myself to teaching at different universities that integrate lighting design into their educational program, in addition to being part of board of directors of ILD and APDA in Spain. And because I'm very involved in the diffusion of the profession, I'm very grateful to Linear Light for this space to highlight the lighting designer role and our important work. I'm very happy to be here to talk of this topic of restaurants and their special and singular atmospheres. All of them have a personality from lighting approach, obviously. And now we are talking about these singularities with Silvia. Thanks for inviting me.
The topic we will deal with today is very broad. There are in fact many different types of restaurants, so I imagine that in this case the target plays an essential role.
Yes, of course. The target audience is our first clue as to where we should focus the light atmosphere. A place that only lives during the day is not the same as another that changes from day to night with different activities. In the case of a space that changes during its operating hours, we have to focus on what those light moments are like. For example, more active, where the light is expressed in a general way, or in more intimate moments where we look for a more contrasted lighting atmosphere. Once speaking with an interior designer during the development of a restaurant project, he said me something that I think is very true. There are restaurants to see the food and others to look handsome. I really liked this distinction because although it is not applicable to all projects, it expressed very well that in order to propose a lighting design, it is very important to know what you're looking for, both from the point of view of the target client with the understanding of adequate atmosphere passing through the concept and technical lighting solution.
Lighting is often underestimated when opening a new business. Each area of a restaurant, for instance, deserves a dedicated type of lighting, so it is essential to know in advance how the restaurant will be organized. Is this right?
Totally. That is what I mean when we talk about restaurants that must have scenes that fit their different moments and atmospheres. As a user of this type of space, I can tell you that I have seen cases where a good lighting design is in accordance with the concept carried out together with the interior design and identity of these places. But there are others where the objective is distorted by lighting that is not consistent. They should be taken in account. For example, if there are food displays where the food are exhibited must look appetizing, or a wine cellar that deserves to have prominent lighting. Both are examples of point where the lighting must work the accent as point of attraction. For this and more, it is so important to work from the beginning on the general concept of the space in order to be coherent and collaborative from the point of view of lighting design.
Once the target and the type of restaurant have been identified, the lighting professional focuses on the lighting system itself. Which are, in your opinion, the most important factors to take into consideration?
In my opinion, the most important technical factor to consider in this type of space is the color rendering. We would ideally consider a factor around 95, because normally, or in the most of cases, we don't want to distort the food or what is in the product display. Secondly, there may be the color temperature. In the cases where the light is directly related to calm or warmer atmosphere, we should use 2700 Kelvin or less in some of cases, and compare to others that may want to seek a more active environment that perhaps also look to seem more clean in a certain way, we should use between 3000 or 4000 Kelvin or maybe more. About preferences and personalities, the choices are endless. Among these factors, there is also the light distribution, both in the choice of light effects, for example, accent light, general light, or in the surfaces, etc. And if we talk about the optics of the chosen luminaries, we are talking of spot, flood, grazing, etc. In summary, the matrix that we create regarding these factors, among others that may exist, will give us the correct balance in our design.
The attention to these details is driven by the desire to create a pleasant and attractive atmosphere. What must an environment have to be perceived as welcoming?
Personally, I believe that the light should be where it needs to be. Excess lighting, whether we refer to quantity of light or location, in many cases as not filling a cozy space. For me, the light contrast convey interest and make the space have volumetry. In short, they allow me to understand the story of space, and that invites me to stay.
Our time is up, so let me thank Mariel again for participating to this episode. It was a great pleasure talking to you today.
For me, it has been a pleasure sharing with you some experiences and my passion for light. And again, many thanks to you, Sylvia and Linear Light, for spreading the word about the role of lighting designers and quality lighting design. Until next time, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for joining us. Discover more on our website linearlight.com.